So some people think that being in a Christian relationship or Christian dating can be very boring. But hey, I'm here to bring you the news that it can actually be one of the most exciting journey you've ever experienced. Who says that having a relationship while maintaining purity and boundaries is going to be very boring? No. Now there are a lot of things that you can do to make the most of your courtship period while dating God's way. Here are some things that we did or that you can do to make the most of it. You can actually maximize your courtship season to have a great one. Okay, are you ready?
I am. Let's do this.
Let's do this.
All right. So number one, communication. I know that may sound a bit cliche, but it cannot be overemphasized. I think that one of the most crucial things to do in a relationship is talking, and a lot of talking. We did a lot of talking.
A lot.
Now you've lived apart from this person you're about to court, or you're courting and hoping to get married to for over probably 24, 25 years, how many ever years they are. You've lived apart from this person for all that while. Now communication is like having a crash course to learn who this person is. What are their characteristics? What are their likes? What do they like? And other things. There are a lot of things to talk about. The other importance of it is that it helps build your friendship, build your bond. Okay. A lot of people think that once you get into marriage, a lot of it is going to be around intimacy, having sex and all of that. But you will be shocked by the time you get married to find out that that is not the only thing that married couples are doing. When all of that razzmatazz, all of that excitement is settling down, what will keep the marriage fluid is the friendship that you have built. Communication is what helps with that and get you more bonded together. So that's one of the importance of communication. So friendship is what is built during courtship by virtue of communication.
People can be wondering, so what do we talk about? Trust me, there are lots of questions to ask. There's a lot to know about this person. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to decide about your future and about your marriage. And a lot of things you talk about during courtship can form the basis of a healthy marriage. And I have a whole video on, I think, over 50 questions to ask during courtship. Trust me, it's going to keep you busy and keep you engaged during your courtship period. And it's going to be very, very helpful. Okay, so the next thing to do is dates and outings. Come on. I know you're in a Christian relationship, but who says you cannot have fun? Who says you can't go out? You can't take yourselves out? Please make memories. This will also help you, of course, have something to relieve or relish in your relationship, something really beautiful. You don't have to be so rigid. Of course, while you're maintaining your boundaries, but you can have fun while at it. So dates, outings, like to the cinema, eating out, restaurant, games, fun places, So take walks if you can. Just beautiful things. Have something that maybe when you look back, whether when you're still dating or even in your marriage, you can laugh about, you can think about. You can even say something like, oh, we used to do this thing before. Can we recreate this again? I mean, make beautiful memories.
Yeah, I think that's really important. You should have fun. Nobody says that as a Christian, you shouldn't have fun. In fact, as long as it's within the boundaries of what is allowed as a Christian, it is important. And it doesn't have to be very expensive for you to have fun. Okay, you can go out, you can eat whatever you can afford. I remember our first date. We didn't spend so much. I didn't have a lot of money, but we made do with what we had. I think we had to even share some of our food at some point.
Yeah, what mattered was really, like I said, the memories. Like it was just beautiful going out, like everything. Like, just remembering that we shared food together. The other day we were just talking about it and we're just laughing and all of that. So yeah. Can you remember what I wore on our first date?
Yes, no.
What did I wear?
It was a lemon colored or sky blue colored.
Oh, babe, did you get checky?
I didn't check. It was a problem of knowing the type of color.
Lemon and sky blue. Because when I asked you before, you said lemon. Now you said sky blue. Yeah, you tried. Nice.
So it was a sky blue top that you tie.
Yeah.
You had a belt that you tie in front.
Ah, babe. Nice. Yeah, so different things, fun, parks, activities. I mean, make the most of it while you can, okay?
All right, so the third thing is praying together. I think if you are dating as a Christian, there's place for prayer. It's very important. It's one of the crucial things that you can do in your relationship. Now, not only does it settle things that you should settle, I mean, you could be praying about current things, you could be praying about things concerning your future, your marriage, and things. We prayed about all sorts of things relating to our lives at that point. And then we also prayed regarding our marriage. We prayed regarding our children from that point. We prayed prayed about our in-laws and a lot of things. And I can tell you one thing, prayer does make people, I think prayer has a way of also building the bond. I would think that that happened to us. And then also, one of the things I felt kept me going on this journey or gave me the confidence to continue on this journey was the fact that I took stock at some point in the relationship, and I found that most of the things that we prayed together for, God was granting them. I could see them happening. It was like magic. You know what the Bible says about a prayer of agreement, when of two or three shall agree concerning anything. I saw it playing out. So I was like, no, if God is answering the prayers we come together to pray, even whilst we were still courting, that he will still continue to do that whilst we are married. So I feel that continue to play out still.
Yeah. Prayer is very crucial in your courtship journey. Honestly, there's a lot to pray about. Now, what will prayer do for you? Like you said, prayer is going to help you guys bond together, because I mean, sometimes you guys are just going to be vulnerable before God in prayer. You guys are agreeing, you guys are sharing some prayer points. Sometimes we're praying about personal things, and most times we're also praying about our future, praying about our children, praying about our in-laws. Prayer is a time for you to turn your fears or worries into a praise point. Let me put it that way. Because rather than being afraid or worrying about things, like whenever we heard about something, oh, people divorce because of this, like example, SES is an issue in people's marriages and things like that. We prayed about it, that we're going to have a great one in our own marriage. Rather than testing the waters like people would do, we were stirring the waters in the place of prayer. Okay. Prayer is also a way to show that you trust God for the journey ahead, and you're just committing a lot of things to him. Prayer is like a seed that you sow into your marriage, that you will reap the harvest even before the marriage and during the marriage. So it's like a foundation. You're laying a platform for your marriage. It's so beautiful that a lot of things that we prayed about, we saw manifestations during courtship, and we are also seeing a lot of those things in our marriage. And I'm so happy that we invested time in prayer. Now, you don't always have to even come together to pray. Thanks to technology, we had times of prayer, and most times, especially when we now started doing a long distance courtship, when doing our service, we started to pray over the phone. You know, we did like even night prayers that we'll be praying over the phone. You know, we had times of prayer. We can just be like, okay, Sundays at so and so time. We even had fasting days of fasting, but we'll break our fast together. And it doesn't always have to be physically. Like I said, we had our boundaries, but we did some of our prayers online. Oh my God, it was so beautiful. I mean, just invest time in prayer, praying about anything and everything. This is kind of unity and bond that prayer does to people. You know, so when people are praying together, like the agreement prayer that he did mention, there is oneness, especially when your hearts are aligned and praying for the same thing. So it does something to you. So it's such a beautiful thing. So please invest time in prayer in your relationship, and I trust God that you will not regret it. Okay? Yeah. You can see that I'm so passionate about prayer in relationship. Like, okay. So the next thing to do is learning together. Someone says if you're not growing together, you'll be growing apart. So if you guys are not growing together in knowledge, chances are that you're going to be drifting apart, because maybe one person is growing and leaving the other person behind. So you can't think on the same frequency or wavelength or the same level. You know, you can't mentally stimulate each other. You can't even support each other's goals or dreams, so to speak. So learning together also helps you people bond together, building friendship together while you're growing together. So it could be attending certain courses or maybe learning some skills together that would help you. Okay. It could even be something in your career. Like both of us were both doctors, so it was easy for us to also learn together. You know, some medical things he would teach you. Oh my God. I remember when I had exams, so he was like what were you now? My simulator. Oh, baby, you tried for me. Yes. In the morning, like, oh no. You were so helpful. He was my oh my God. I don't want to go into it. You can even grow together spiritually as well, like Bible study. Imagine growing together in the Word. We had times of study. We can have a book or a chapter where we study. So we can be like, we're studying the book of Romans this month or this period. Then we will do our personal study, and then when we come together, we'll share what we learned. Even where we had a long distance relationship, we also utilize the WhatsApp. Okay, we can share it over the phone. Maybe he will send me a voice note of what he got, you know, from a particular book that we're studying, and I will send mine. Sometimes it could be devotionals that we will do together. You know, if you have that Bible app, lots of devotionals there. We were learning together. Sometimes it might be sermons. I will listen to a particular sermon and I feel like, oh my God, I think he should listen to this. Imagine both of us even listening to the same thing. We're going to be learning from, it's like drinking from the same source. Do you understand? So when I listen to a sermon or I listen to a message and I feel like, oh, he needs to hear this, I will send it to him. Like, let's say I'll listen to a sermon on marriage, like Pastor Mildred and all of that. I'll say, oh babe, listen to this. He will listen to this, and then we'll talk about it. We'll talk about how we're going to implement it in our marriage or in our courtship. Or he will also send to me. And it was even in books. books. It might be like, I remember when the first time I read Five Love Languages by Gary Chapman, and I was like, he needs to read this. I cannot learn this alone. And I sent it to him as well. And then we'll talk about it. And then we'll now start discussing, okay, what do you think is your own love language? What do you think is my, like, it's so beautiful. There's something beautiful about learning together. You guys know that you're learning the same thing. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's very essential, and it cannot be overflowed. Especially the fact that you're going into an institution called marriage. You need to learn about. You need to be reading books and probably listening to messages that teach about marriage. You are learning the same things. You are learning together, and so both of you can relate, okay, to what you have learned in the future when situations call for the knowledge that you have gained.
All right, so the next thing would be marriage courses or classes. It was so important. Like, I recommend this because I saw what it did to our relationship and also to our marriage. I mean, the very first time we told our counselors that we started dating, they just started arranging marriage classes for us, and it was so beautiful. That period is a period that you learn a lot about marriage. It's a period that you even learn a lot about yourselves. It's a period of, even being honest and vulnerable. One of the things they asked us during that marriage class or course was like, is there something about her you don't really like? So it was like an eye opener. You start to reason beyond emotions and start to reason, okay, reality. If I'm actually living with this person, are there certain, character traits? Are there certain attitudes that I can live with and things like that? So they asked him the same question and they asked me as well. So we learned a lot of things, even things that, I didn't even know that you would need to learn to get married. We learned about dealing with in-laws. We learned about communication in marriage, conflict resolution. There are so many other things. I think there's what I'm trying to, is it maintaining your identity in marriage or something like that?
Yeah,
I can't
something like that.
I can't remember, something like that. So there were lots of topics that I didn't even know about. So I highly recommend a marriage course, a marriage class, and yeah, I know that there are some churches, if you're going to wed in a church, that will do a marriage class or marriage course for you. But that would be like maybe close to the wedding date. I don't know, depending on the date, but most times it's usually close to the wedding date. But like I said, I started very early in the courtship, which was very helpful. And for some people, because of the timing of the weddings and all of that, it could be a crash course and you may not really benefit a lot, you may not gain a lot. So I really highly recommend that during your courtship period, you make time for some marriage courses. Take your time, and do marriage courses or marriage classes. Like, very beautiful experience. Oh my God.
Yeah. I think one thing you can do as well, I don't know if there are such programs online. There may be,
Yeah.
but even if you can't find a formal one, getting to speak to a couple who you think are doing marriage the way you would love to, in terms of having a good marriage, a godly marriage, and you think they've got experience as well, you could probably speak to them to organize something like this. Let them know that you have this thing going on and that you would love them to speak to you about a few topics regarding marriage. If they are experienced in it to the point that they can develop a curriculum, then that's fine. If they are not, you could identify areas you want them to speak to you about. It could be things like probably saying, we want to learn about how to manage family finances, how to manage relationship with in-laws, bringing up children and things like that. And I'm sure you'll find someone who is happy to do that for you.
Yeah, and just want to add that you should just be mindful of where you get these courses from,
Yeah.
so that you don't get, given the wrong information.
Yeah, so the next thing is self-development. I think as you are courting or dating, there should be something that you are working towards. There should be something that you are doing to advance yourself, to develop yourself. As a man, probably you are trying to advance your career or do something in business or whatever it is that you're doing, to at least even be able to become stable financially, to be able to be able to sustain a family. And as a lady as well, you should have something going on for you, something that you are pursuing. Okay? You should be advancing your life. Now, if one person is not doing that, what will happen is that they are just free all the time. Now, because if this other person is busy with their lives, one person might feel like this person is not giving me enough time, okay? And then issues can begin to arise from there. And if both parties are not doing much, they will become idle for most of the time. At that moment, it starts starts to feel as if it's boring, and that's when the enemy will start to inject certain things in their minds, because there is nothing to fill up that space whilst you are walking towards that definite time that you have planned to get married. I think it's really important that you get something doing, advance yourself. Even if you don't have a job, okay, learn something, get something, enroll in something to learn. It will help you really.
Yeah, so it's very good to have something going on in your life and for yourself as well, so that your life is not revolving around your relationship and you don't get to idolize your relationship or idolize the person you're dating, because it's like you need this person, you're always needing this person because you don't have a lot going on in your life. I just remember the story. One time I went to make my hair, and then there was this lady, we just started having a conversation, and then I think she found out I was a doctor or something like that. So she just started telling me that she was dating a doctor, but she's no longer feeling the relationship because she feels like, she said she likes attention and all of that, and she felt like she's not getting enough attention that this person is giving
She
her.
will not get it from a doctor.
So wait, it's not true. You're not a doctor. So the thing is, I was like, oh, does he call you and all of that? So I think he tries to communicate with her regularly, but like she said, maybe she wants them to be talking for 24 hours or something like that. But I asked her, okay, are you doing anything? Do you have a job? She doesn't have a job. So of course, because she doesn't have a job, she's not doing anything. This guy is working, and you expect him to not leave his job, but to be talking to you for hours and hours. So he probably tries to get time to talk to her every day, but maybe not as much as she wants. She thinks that is not enough, okay, but this person is working. And I felt like she started placing a lot of demand on that relationship and on that man because she didn't have anything doing. So it's very good to develop yourself, and it will even help you for the person you're dating as well. Both of you can benefit from it one way or the other. It will be useful for your relationship, even useful in your marriage or somehow. So yes, self-development is actually very important.
Yep, absolutely.
So the next thing will be gifting each other. Aside the fact that gifts is a love language, for some people, but it's also an expression of love as well, giving and receiving gifts. So it doesn't have to be your partner's love language before you give them gifts. And it doesn't have to be something expensive. Just decide to spoil your partner a bit. I mean, it just brings so much smiles to the face. It makes the person feel like, oh, this person cares about me. You're thinking about me. It doesn't even have to be special moment. Like, it's not only their birthdays. You can randomly just send a gift, something, but just something beautiful, okay, just to brighten up their day.
Not pants. It's true now. Some people buy pants as gifts, and they start to put certain emotions in the other person's mind, certain thoughts, which is not correct. It's not right. Don't buy pants, please. Don't buy it.
It's also a way of just getting into someone's heart and making them think of you. You guys are just thinking about each other. It's just something really sweet and romantic. Yes.
Yeah, I think that's really important. It doesn't have to be very expensive. It's the thought of it that matters. Because I still remember that I didn't used to celebrate birthday really. I think I just celebrated my birthday once before I started dating. And that year, I think it was just before we started dating that, but we had become very close then, that you bought me an actual gift and even bought cake to celebrate my birthday. And that
did I buy
meant a
cake?
lot. Yeah, you did. You bought a cake, you bought some gifts, and yeah, that was really nice. And yeah, I felt special, and she was intentional. She knew what she was doing. This lady right here, she used that to pierce through my myocardium. He left a mark on my very myocardium.
The gift of a man makes a way for him.
I said, no, I must lambano this one.
But anyhow, I could go on and on about some of the gifts that I received from you, but I think I want to save it for the long distance relationship videos. Like even while we were apart, we were apart on a long distance relationship. At some point, you were intentional. He will plan with my mom. You planned, as in you will plan with your friends. No. Like, oh my god. See, now I'm still blushing thinking about those gifts that you were giving and all. So just try to exchange gifts. Don't just be a partner that is at the receiving side thinking that he has to give to me or she has to give to me. It's also beautiful when you have given someone something and you see what it does to them.
Wait. I want to use this opportunity to thank you for not buying me boxers. I had enough boxers and singlets.
Ew, baby, get out of here. Oh my my God.
So the last thing is doing something that may benefit others, such as going on outreaches, outreaches, yeah, evangelism maybe, if you are able to do that. Yeah, that could help. It helps build the bond between both of you, that you can go out together, reach out to people. It grants you that sense of fulfillment as a couple or as partners. If you could do it, I think it's something that you can incorporate into your relationship that will definitely spice it up.
For outreaches, there's something it does to your relationship. It makes you feel that your courtship is bringing smiles to the faces of people. There's this self-satisfaction you have knowing that both of you are purposefully doing something that is just bringing joy to someone. So there are different things you can do, just plan on different outreaches or projects together, like prison ministries, or maybe like you could say you want to go to the charity, or orphanages, give to people. So it's just, I feel like it's also a seed that you're sowing for your marriage as well.
Sure.
And your children. My prayer is that you would enjoy this exciting journey that God has brought you into. You will make the most of your courtship season, and it will be a very beautiful one that you will look back and you'll be grateful. Thank you so much if you have watched to this point, because we have come to the end of this video. You can tell that we enjoyed making this video, and I hope you enjoyed watching it. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up so that a lot of people would watch this video. I feel like some people are getting into that journey of Christian courtship, but they are trying to know how to navigate it. So this video is a great start for them. So please share it to people as well, and leave your comment and any questions that you have, and they will joyfully answer. I will see you in our next video. Bye.
Bye.